Good evening. I call our regular city council meeting to order. Today is Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. This is our regular 7 p.m. meeting. We will kick the meeting off with our opening prayer given to us today by Pastor Jim Case with Tallmadge Lutheran Church, and then we'll stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Praying that you will keep them safe and guiding them, giving them knowledge, and sustaining them with good health, and making this city safe according to your will and your purpose. Bless all acts and actions that are taken tonight, and be with us as this Veterans Day weekend as we rejoice in giving thanks for those who serve and those who have served. In your blessed name we pray. Amen.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and I had a roll call this evening. I just want to introduce our newest council person, Ms. Tracy Pletcher. So welcome to council and representing Ward 4. All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Jonathan Bolus.
Here.
Christine Sippa.
Here.
Jessica Epstein.
Ms. Epstein is excused this evening.
Donald Pavlik.
Here.
Tracy Pletcher.
Here.
Ted Roy.
Mr. Roy is excused this evening.
Nick Rubino.
Here.
All right, we have 5 counselors here this evening. Next item on the agenda is item 4, correcting and adopting the previous meeting minutes from 5/8/25 council meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to adopt the 5/8/25 council meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the 5/8/2025 council meeting minutes. Is there any discussion from council on the meeting minutes? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Christine Sippa.
Yes.
Donald Pavlik.
Yes.
Tracy Pletcher.
Yes.
Nick Rubino.
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes. Meeting minutes are adopted by a vote of 5-0. Next up, financial reports. We have none this evening. Item 6, public hearings. We have none this evening. Agenda additions. We have none listed this evening. I do want to say, I apologize, item 7, community input. This is the time in the meeting, if there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak to an item that's not on the agenda, this is your time to do so. You'll have 2 minutes to speak. Just please state your name and address. Anyone that would like to speak this evening? All right, thank you. Item 8, agenda additions, we have none. Moving to item 9, we come to our reports of administrative officers. We'll kick things off with Mayor Kilway.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try to read as fast as I can and be as quick as I can this evening, but we've been very busy. I do have several updates for council and the community tonight. First off, I'm very pleased to welcome our newly appointed council member, Councilwoman Tracy Pletcher. We really look forward to your leadership and your service to our community, so thank you very much. On behalf of the administration, thank you for joining City Council. On behalf of the City of Tallmadge, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Tallmadge High School class of 2025. We celebrate your achievements and wish you continued success as you embark on the next chapter of your journey. And as I did tell many of the seniors on their senior Give Back Day, enjoy this time, have fun, but just remember, Tallmadge is always your home. So. Also on Tuesday, Andrea Kidder had the opportunity to visit AHEPA to celebrate Rose Mazzoli's 100th birthday on behalf of the City of Tallmadge. We wish Rose a very happy birthday and many more. And the reason why Andrea did that is because on Tuesday I was down in Columbus meeting with a bipartisan group of lawmakers who are actively working through the state budget process. It was a very insightful conversation that touched on several issues that will be impacting communities like ours. As the budget process continues to unfold, we'll be keeping a close eye on the developments and what they may mean for Tallmadge. So I will keep you updated as we hear things. The budget should be passed by the end of June. An update from the Tallmadge Police Department. I'm pleased to share that earlier this week, Chief Bohan notified me that Officer Mike Dornack has attained the Professional 2025 School Resource Officer level. It is a distinguished accreditation awarded by the Ohio School Resource Officers Association Board of Directors. In order to receive this designation, Officer Dornack met the following criteria. It's a minimum of 5 years of service as a school resource officer, a successful completion of advanced school-based law enforcement training, and consistent participation in the OSROA annual conference. Officer Dornack will be formally recognized with a certificate and a lapel pin at the 2025 Ohio School Resource Officers Association Conference. So please join me in congratulating Officer Dornack for attaining this accreditation as a professional SRO. When you see him, I encourage you to personally thank him for his continued dedication to our schools and our community. Tallmadge Fire Department update. I'd like to take a moment to recognize a job exceptionally well done by our Tallmadge EMS team. On April 22nd, the Tallmadge EMS responded to a call for a potential stroke in progress. Upon arrival, the crew quickly assessed the patient, confirmed signs of a suspected stroke, and initiated emergency transport to Summa Akron City Hospital. The stroke team was activated en route, and thanks to the crew's swift response and efficient transport, the hospital was able to identify a blockage during the CAT scan and treat the patient with a positive outcome. For their outstanding performance, Tallmadge EMS was recognized by Summa as the EMS Stroke Team of the Month for April of 2025. They have received this designation several times, just a testament to what their processes and their training and their exceptional ability that they have. So I'm very, very proud of them continuing to get this award. So please join me in congratulating the crew members, which were Lieutenant Joe Klein, Fire Medic Grant Holcomb, Fire EMT Diamond Carper. Their professional speed and expertise made a direct impact in saving a life, and we are proud of their accomplishments. I would also like to share an invitation with council and the community to a community engagement reading introducing the Neighborhood Center Overlay District for the Northeast Avenue Corridor. The Planning and Zoning team will be hosting this community engagement meeting on Tuesday, May 27th at 6:00 p.m. in council chambers to introduce the proposed Neighborhood Center Overlay District along the Northeast Avenue Corridor. This zoning layer is part of our updated zoning code and aligns with our comprehensive plan to address current conditions and future growth. This will be an informal meeting, and we encourage all residents, business owners, and stakeholders to attend, learn more, and share their feedback as part of the public review process. I did have also my after hours with the mayor today before council. I did have a couple people come in and had some discussions on some things that they were concerned about. And after they left, I've, gathered my thoughts and my team, and we're addressing those concerns at this time. Just another reminder that the Memorial Day Parade and Ceremony is this Monday. It's the 157th Memorial Day Parade and Ceremony, and it starts at 10 a.m. As usual, council is invited to walk with the administration in the meeting or in the parade. We will meet at the hole down by the Ritchie Center at 9:30, and step off is at 10 o'clock. On behalf of all of the city employees, I'd like to thank the members and pastors of the Tallmadge Lutheran Church for hosting their annual City of Tallmadge Employee Appreciation Luncheon last Friday. We truly enjoyed this picnic-style lunch on a beautiful sunny afternoon. I want to thank you again for your kindness and hospitality. It was a very nice event, and we really appreciate what the Tallmadge Lutheran Church does for our employees. A Park and Rec update on Saturday, June 8th, from 10 to 12 o'clock is Touch a Truck. So all of you with kids that like to see big trucks, bring them down to the rec center. We also have Music on the Circle is that program that will be starting on June the 5th. That program is also sponsored by the Tallmadge Foundation. We could not do it without their financial support. So we do have June 5th is the Originals and the Brass, which is a Motown disco, country, and contemporary band. June 26th is Revolution Pie, which is a Beatles tribute band. July 17th is the FM Project, which is a Steely Dan tribute, and July 31st is Risk Factor, which is a rock, pop, and country music from the 60s to today. And these dates will all be listed in the Tallmadge circular will be mailed out earlier, that was already in there that was mailed out earlier this year for all residents. And pretty much that's about all I have right now. Is there any questions from council? Like I said, we've been busy. All right, hearing none. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll turn it over to our Director of Administration, Mr. Ignazio.
Good evening. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Council and community members. Just a brief update this evening. On May 13th, we participated in fact-finding with the International Association of Firefighters, and the fact-finder informed both the city and the IAFF team that we're likely to receive his fact-finding report around June 6th, slightly earlier than we anticipated. So that means during the Personnel Committee this evening, I'll be requesting an executive session that we already have scheduled to add to that agenda, a briefing and an update on the IAFF fact-finding report for the June 12th council meeting. I will also then be requesting that that council recall ordinance 2024-75, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the IAF Local 2764 and providing for immediate enactment on June 12th at that time and be recommending council vote on it after the executive session. So things are happening quicker than we anticipated, which is good. We'll be able to have review during an executive session, both fact-finding reports based on what the fact-finders had told us. In just one other note, on May 9th, as I told you 2 weeks ago, that we were going to close City Hall for a couple of hours and do training and a drill. We had that opportunity. I want to thank the finance director, the law director, and public service director, and the mayor for their support, and Chief Bohan, Chief Underwood, Captain McGee, Captain Eichler, and Deputy Chief Stasek for providing great training. It was classroom, hands-on, and then we had a great exercise. We'll be repeating a shorter drill and a makeup class in late September. So that concludes my report, pending your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up is our Director of Economic Development, Ms. Poole.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to share this update. Fortunate timing in my first month in my role as economic developer for the city of Tallmadge. That has coincided with several state and regional economic development initiatives, which are important for our involvement. From the city perspective, our awareness and our alignment with those. Just today, we had a virtual update from Jobs Ohio, which is Ohio's Economic Development Corporation. They provide a quarterly board of directors virtual meeting where we can learn what's going on and hear the latest. It's exciting because Ohio, our state goals are to become the top state for jobs, economic resilience, and prosperity, which I think we can all get behind. And then we were fortunate to participate in the Team NEO annual event, which was held in Independence on May 7th, so earlier this month, and we got to hear from new CEO Matt Dolan. He shared some of the regional efforts, some of the common themes that we continue to hear, that the world is shrinking and that we need to use every tool imaginable to compete globally. We're competing not just with Indiana, but India. And that there is a huge mission to attract and retain talent in Northeast Ohio, and that Ohio is one of the few states nationwide that is actually keeping talent. And so that's an exciting time to be part of Ohio, and then of course here in Tallmadge. Rolling up to that state and regional level of effort in trying to think about how we support that right here in Tallmadge. One of the biggest things that we can do is to go out on our business development and expansion and visits to collaborate and support our businesses. Some of those visits that I was fortunate to participate in over the past month were Tallmadge Animal Hospital on April 30th. East Avenue Gyro stopped in on their first day open on May 13th. We have a ribbon cutting ceremony pending. And then in collaboration with Portage County, we visited Kent Displays on April 29th. Industrial Tube and Steel on April 30th. Glazing Systems on May 21st. I'm going to call this one out, especially as how it ties back into what's going on from a state perspective. This is a really great example of how economic development efforts really pay off at the level here, right here in our own backyard here in Tallmadge. So I was fortunate to be part of this visit where the visit happened post them receiving a grant. This grant was the small business grant where Glazing Systems was fortunate to receive $50,000 grant money to invest in a $500,000 machine. We got to see this machine firsthand in production. This is increasing the company's productivity by 10%. As a result of that grant, the idea was to have them grow from 12 people to 15. That would have been a good outcome. However, now they are at 25 people. So certainly increasing that productivity has paid off for them and is coming to fruition right here in Tallmadge. Their business has grown from $2 million to $6 million. Another great story to share with everyone is we were fortunate to attend with the mayor, the county, stakeholders yesterday at StoreTech at their new facility. Akron Beacon Journal was present. This is a perfect example of the success story of a global manufacturer that is in a global marketplace but is operating right here in Tallmadge. The president, Jim Cruz, was sharing with us that they have dual facilities. One of them is right here in Tallmadge. One of them is in Detroit. The folks in Detroit, not so welcoming. They don't know who the mayor is. They don't know who their economic developer is. They really don't engage with them at all. So they said it was an easy decision to want to expand their facilities right here in Tallmadge. And in doing so, they're able to generate much more credibility with their potential customers. They have a lot of large customers, for example, Honda. Their processes are on an assembly line with international competitors from Japan and others, and their specialized process is the only American one that is in that particular assembly line. So that's something that we can be very proud of. We're excited to see those good news stories and replicate those further with other businesses as we continue to get out there. A couple of other businesses we also visited in collaboration with Summit County and Elevate Greater Akron were Industrial Control Design and Maintenance on May 6th, Midwest Metal Fabrications on May 8th, and that is another facet that's tying back into the state mindset, which is to do everything that we can, we have to collaborate regionally with our partners to make sure that people want to continue doing business and bring jobs to Tallmadge. And then furthermore, just kind of drilling down further, engagement in support of economic development, collaborating with the chamber, attending chamber events, including Chamber at the Table event on May 1st, which the subject was AI, which was very interesting. And if you think AI doesn't apply to you, it was interesting to hear AI being explained as a tool, and just as though you may put on glasses and be able to see better. So even though you're a really competent person, it's a tool that we can all use to become more efficient and effective and keep up with the speed of change, which is something that we're all interested in doing. And then the Women's Initiative Network, WIN for short. I'm happy to participate in anything where you can win, and that was in support of Carson Strong Foundation, which was a wonderful foundation that is operating locally to help families who are touched by cancer and allow their families to spend more time together in their final days together. So that was a lovely event to be involved in. And pending any questions, that concludes my update. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, next up is our Director of Public Service. I see Mr. Roy is absent. Any report?
No report for him. If you have any questions, you can reach out by email, and he gets right back to you guys really quickly, so.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right, then we'll move along to our Director of Finance, Ms. Gilbride.
Thank you. I have no report this evening.
No report. Any questions? All right, moving to our Director of Law, Ms. Raber.
Thank you. No report this evening.
All right, any questions for Ms. Raber? All right, we will move into reports of standing committees of council of the whole. So I'd like to pass the mic over to Councilwoman Pletcher to open planning and zoning.
Thank you, Mr. Bolus. I'd like to call planning and zoning to order. Tonight, for second reading, we have ordinance 2025-51, which is scheduled for public hearing on June 12th, 2025. Amending ordinance 77-2009, creating the list of recognized heritage structures, LRS, to remove 12 Southwest Avenue. Do I have any comments or?
No, again, this is just to remove 12 Southwest from the recognized heritage structure list. We do have another companion piece that goes with this. It would be ordinance, I believe it's 2025-56, which is the demolition of that. So we could just give it another reading at this point in time.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we'll leave it at second reading. And public hearing is scheduled for June 12th, 2025. Does anybody have anything else for planning and zoning? Okay, hearing none, I'll close committee.
Thank you. All right, next up, we'll turn it over to Finance Committee with Councilman Pavlik.
Thank you. I open Finance Committee. Finance Committee deals with budget, appropriations, reappropriations, bonds, franchises, investments, and expenditures. Currently, we have two ordinances, one in second reading and one in first. First up is second reading, ordinance 2025-53, authorizing and directing the Director of Public Service to uniformly increase water rates and providing for immediate enactment. Sponsors of this ordinance is Director of Public Service, Mr. Rohr, and Director of Finance, Ms. Gilbride. Ms. Gilbride, is there anything you would like to add to this ordinance?
No, I gave council the presentation. Everybody got it. Ms. Pletcher, I will forward that to you since you were not there. I just made myself a note to do that. Mr. Bolus had asked, I think at the previous meeting, we'd talked about 2012 was the last year that we had increased water rates. He had asked for any increases prior to that. So the Clerk of Council, Ms. Burton, helped me to search legislation, and appears legislatively all we could find was in 2006 there had been a 3% increase, and then the rate increase that was instituted in 2012 was the third year of a 3-year rate increase. So in 2010 they increased it 9.5%, in 2011 8%, in 2012 8% more. So those were for the last 20 years, those have been the rate increases that have been applied to our residential water rates.
I just wanted to say thank you for providing that additional information. I also did provide I forwarded your presentation to Councilwoman Pletcher.
Oh, okay, thank you for doing that. Thank you.
And I know that she hasn't got her laptop yet, so that's in your inbox now. But no, just given the current absences and our new council person, is it okay if I recommend a third reading?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll go with
Third
Yeah,
reading,
we were
three
planning on third
readings anyway.
And, yeah, and I want to let everyone know that Ms. Gilbride and I met this Monday for about an hour, and we drilled down into what's causing this, and obviously she had said previously one of the biggest reasons why you see the cash decline is the water tower. We entered in debt. We had debt falling off, but then we entered into new debt for the repair of the water tower. That's going to be there. And then obviously with the significant capital improvements that we need to make, that's causing the need to replenish the water bucket. So hence the rate increases. And I should also point out that we did drill down, because if you do remember the black line and the red line getting really close, we talked a little bit about that. I asked her, was this enough? Did we need additional? I think some of with the capital improvements that we make, you're going to have, savings in some of the water, which is going to make, the disparity be a little more. You have some more of a delta than what's presented. So thank you for taking the time to meet with me.
No problem. And if any other council people have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'll be glad to sit down with anyone.
So with that, we will leave ordinance 2025-53 in second reading. Thank you. Next up, in first reading is ordinance 2025-56, authorizing the mayor to receive funding from the Summit County Land Reutilization Corporation Community Development Matching Grant Fund for the demolition of the structure deemed blighted at 12 Southwest Avenue, and authorizing the mayor to enter into necessary arrangements pursuant to the Tallmadge Demolition Program, appropriating funds, and providing for an enactment. Sponsor of this ordinance is Mayor Kilway. Mayor Kilway, any comments?
No, just this tracks with the other one that we had. This is just in order to receive the matching grant from the Summit County Land Rehabilitation Corporation Community Development Matching Grant Fund. And my eyes are not working.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is, and my eyes are not working because it's been a long day, but it is approximately a little over $9,000 that we'll receive to pay for 50% of the demolition of that building.
Ms. Raber, is this something that we need to approve in conjunction or with the other ordinance or before?
I would recommend that they stay companion ordinances and you give it another reading. It's its second reading
Got
today.
it. Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll leave that at second reading. Any other items that need to be brought before finance tonight? Hearing none, I will close committee.
Thanks very much. Moving along to our Personnel Committee, I will pass the mic to Councilwoman Sipa.
Thank you. Call the Personnel meeting, or council meeting to order. Personnel Committee deals with personnel, labor relations, insurance claim, rules of council, and state statutes. Ordinance 2024-75 was tabled until June 26, 2025, but it's my understanding that we want to now change that to June 12, 2025, correct?
Councilwoman Sipa, that is correct.
Okay. Do we need to vote on this? Okay. Any discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-75 to June 12th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a clarification, the motion's to recall the ordinance?
Call the order.
Okay.
Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Tracy Fletcher,
Yes.
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes.
Christine Sipa.
Yes. Ordinance 2024-75, recalled to June 12th, 2025, has passed with a vote of 5-0. Ordinance 2024-76 is tabled until June 12th, 2025, and ordinance 2024-77 has also been tabled until June 12th, 2025. Any discussion on that? Nope. Comments?
Councilwoman Sipa, just to be clear, then, the executive session on that date for the agenda would be for discussion of the fact-finding reports for ordinances 2024-75, -76, and -77. Okay, I just wasn't sure, sorry. Thank you, that's all.
Any discussion? Okay, any additional items for personnel? Okay, hearing none, I close personnel.
Thanks very much. We'll move on to our Safety Committee with Councilman Rubino.
Thank you. I call the Safety Committee to order. The Safety Committee deals with disaster services, communications, fire and paramedics, police, and health. We do have one ordinance in front of us today. It's second reading for ordinance 2025-57, appropriating One Ohio opioid settlement funds for naloxone to be available in city parks and providing for immediate enactment. Sponsors of this are Finance Director Gilbride and Law Director Raber. Is there anything you'd like to reiterate on that?
Yes, there were some questions that had arisen at the last council meeting. I did attempt to have a conversation with the folks at Summit County Public Health. We went back and forth, and unfortunately, we have not been able to connect yet. So I will be able to hopefully get those answers for you before the next meeting. Just give it another reading tonight.
All right, sounds good. Are there any other questions from council or anybody else? All right, hearing none, I close committee.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Community Issues Committee. I will turn the committee over to Councilwoman Pletcher to open community issues.
Okay. I will open community issues to order. There are no items on the agenda this evening. Does anybody have anything today? Okay, hearing none, I'll close committee.
Thank you. All right, and then last up is our Public Service Committee. I will turn this over to Councilman Rubino to open public service.
Thank you. The Public Service Committee deals with streets, highways, sidewalks, buildings, and improvements, water, sewer, gas, electric resources, recycling, waste, and trash. There are no items on the agenda for today. Does anybody have anything for public service? Hearing none, I close committee.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to item 11, this is reports of special committees, Council Operations Committee. Only thing I wanted to note is I sent council the viewership report for the YouTube channel. We're averaging 195 views per meeting over the last 8 meetings, so viewership is doing well. Other than that, we have no other additional items. No announcements this evening. Any announcements from council or administration that weren't already noted in the administrative reports? All right, then we'll move to item 13, which is adjournment. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus,
Yes.
Christine Sippa,
Yes.
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Tracy Pletcher.
Yes.
All right, it is 7:33, and this adjourns tonight's May 22nd meeting. Thank you.